Oh well. I would say excuse the hair if I actually cared about it. I just took a shower and I have not brushed it yet, so we're just gonna deal with that. So yes, we are back to Nano. We are preparing for camp, April camp. My first camp, and I am kind of stressed actually. I'm not stressed. How to explain it? I'm not stressed for the writing, I'm excited for it, but I'm a little bit stressed because I cannot make up my mind. And it's such a luxury problem. I'm like, so at the beginning of this month, now in March, I was absolutely convinced that I had my story, that I was going to be writing what I do believe is called an isekai, or stepping into another world, if you use another name for it, about basically a character who steps into the body of a designated villainess of a romance novel that they had read in this world, and they step into the body of the fiancé of a crown prince who is actually having an affair with another woman, the designated heroine of the original romance novel, who is also stringing along, I was thinking, 4 other men. Which is kind of funny when you're looking at these stories about, you know, the designated villainess, how often the heroines are just, I mean, often the villainess has a single lover that she absolutely adores, but the heroine has several. Like, I'm not passing moral judgment, it's just, it's a little bit striking when you start reading between the lines of what the authors are writing in their stories when they decide to, you know, write about the villainess or the villainess. And I do quite like those stories. And so my core concept was, we have this reader who steps into the body of a designated villainess a week before a scene where the crown prince casts away his fiancée and decides to marry his mistress, who is never called a mistress in the original story, but that's what she was and is. The twist, however, it was that I wanted the heroine to be one of those, not quite a heroine, not a good person. So I wanted it to be... Am I going into too much of spoilers? No, it's just an idea. I wanted her to actually cast a spell on my main character, the villainess, or the character stepping into the villainous body, and I wanted the heroine to cast this spell. If you can hear the sound, that's probably the wind. You're sitting on my windowsill, so... But I wanted her to cast a spell on the villainess, and in order to remove her as a competition, because the heroine is actually this very, very insecure person, cast a very nasty spell that turns the villainess into a man. And then... Oops. Owie. And going from there, like, that's the start of the story as I was envisioning it. And that's the story sheet, that's where I got so far. And also for it to be revealed that the heroine was definitely not a good person. Not only did she cast the spell on her rival, but then it turns out she actually cast a spell on the crown prince and those 4 other young noblemen. So she's actually arrested at the very beginning of the story, as I've been picturing it. But then the month progressed, and I got struck with, oh, maybe it's time to start writing about my poor Simon, and start the story that I've been thinking about for not 20 years, but definitely about a decade. And it's the saga of Simon the Unfortunate. Simon is a magician. He is gay. I absolutely adore him. He's always been such a sweet, nice character, and has been quite overshadowed by other people. Like, other people definitely tend to underestimate him. But he is one of those characters who ends up saving the world, despite everyone being like, oh no, you're not powerful enough, or you can't do that. because there's always someone better. It doesn't matter if there's someone better, Simon is the one who does the thing. And he does sacrifice himself to bind a dark god to the afterlife. And the story then continues because turns out that's what the Dark God wanted. He wanted to get into afterlife in order to take over the afterlife and rule from there and take the world over from there. So Simon is stuck being the lodestone to this Dark God. And then story progress. Because he kinda ends up in this found family with this Dark God. Like, Simon kinda ends up as the mom and the Dark God as the dad with these 3 kids. Is a thing, like, but I'm not sure if that story is ready to be written, at least explored. And then the third story that has been maybe a decade in the growing. It's been haunting me from time to time for the past years, and it actually grew from a sentence that lots into my brain years and years ago. I actually had a blog years and years ago, I think in maybe 2017. But because it's Google, I cannot re-access my blog. Apparently I have to create another blog in order to get into my... Like, it's a thing I haven't figured out yet, but it's somewhere on the internet. Maybe WordPress, I cannot even remember what it's called. But, it was Blogspot. But the idea is... Well, the sentence that sparks this idea is, the kids are dead and I don't care. And then it grew into, the kids are dead, I don't care, they'll be back in the morning. And it has grown into this kinda horror, kinda thriller, kinda gothic, kinda scary, kinda buddy story. About this woman who is the only regular, actual human being in her entire town. Everyone else turns out to be somehow either influenced or an aspect of the town itself, because the town is what's called a genius loci, or a sentience area. And her only true friend is the physical manifestation of the town's consciousness. And I kind of want to write that story as well. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. It's Sunday, I have until Friday to honestly make up my mind. This video should be up on Tuesday. So I hope by the end of this video I will actually have made up my mind. But I also wanted to chat about, like, if you can't get ideas for the stories, which can happen, I would suggest doing an exercise that I came across when I was listening to the Writing Excuse podcast. Think October or November or December last year. It was in season 13, episode 35. And it's a 13 minutes TV trope dive. So essentially what you do is you can pick a starter point, either something that interests you or you just hit the random button, and then you start there, but you set the timer for 30 minutes and then you follow whatever catches your fancy. You know, write all down, perhaps, that's at least what I did, and after 30 minutes you're done. So the first time I did that, I hadn't written it, but it did get the ball starting for a story that I might write one day. I don't know. But I started with medical drama, and then I just followed whatever took my fancy, and I ended up with medical drama, convenient coma, convenient terminal illness, going down with the ship, gothic horror, gorgeous period dress, rural or glamorous, any humanely beautiful race, handsome lech, good bad girl, predator pastimes, the Ophelia, and predatory prostitute. Very, very gothic type of feeling, like I got kind of like Alice in the Madhouse type of thing. Another that I did in December, because I needed something to do. I start with Endless Winter, Dreaming of a White Christmas, Christmas Tropes, The Krampus, and Holiday Personification. I think I only took like 15 minutes for that one though. And the third that I have written down here, I started again with Endless Winter, got Night That Never Ends, The Plague, Survival Horror, Abandoned Warehouse, The Dreaded, Fate Worse Than Death, and Lotus Eater Machine. Again, whole lot of horror, and like I get ideas for horror stories, but I don't really read horror stories. So I've never written any. Maybe I should. And I mean, there are stories that I'm starting to read this year that I'm very, very excited about. So maybe, we'll see. Moving to handheld, like in order. Okay, that angle is cool and all that, but in order to get it, I have to be kneeling on the ground, and my knees are. They don't like it. They do not like it. But yes, so I will hopefully get an update before I get this video like done. About what I'm actually going to be writing about, because dear lord, I have to make up my mind. I want to participate in camp, but here's the thing though, I want to write, my aim is to write 30,000 words, and I want to actually have a concrete story, like in Nano in November, where my goal was simply to get at 50,000 words and get started on the story that is definitely going to be more than 50,000 words. When I get it finished, I want to have a finished novelette. So about 30,000 words, I'll at least have something with a beginning, middle, and end, concrete, full story. So I just need to make up my mind. So, did put on some makeup today, so yay for me for doing that. I decided to film a little bit while I still have something called daylight. I haven't made up my mind. So I'm still conflicted about what to write. I still have like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday to make my mind. We still have until Friday for me to properly make up my mind, but I'm like, I thought I had it in the bag at the beginning of the month, and I'm like, Thinking about it though, I'm wondering if it's the original idea where I want to write about a person from this world stepping into the body of a novel character. I'm wondering if it's the framework of that that's bothering me, and whether it's probably a better idea to just write about the villainess herself, and just write it straight like that, instead of framing it being like someone from this world stepping into a character's body. That might actually make the idea better, but I don't know. Do I want to write about a woman who is betrayed by her fiance and physically transformed into a male by her rival, and explore that? Because that is, I mean, that's a concept in and of itself. It's literally, because then it is a comment on gender identity and people's sexuality and all that, and I'm wondering if I'm prepared to explore that. And I don't know. It would be fun to explore though. Like, I want to write about that character because I want to find out who that character is, but I also want to write about the third idea. I want to I sound so whiny. Because at the same time, I also do want to write about my small town girl, basically, who is the only normal, literally human being in the entire town, in her entire just area, and her one true friend being the personification of the area itself. Like the idea of a sentient place having a personality and having friends and controlling the entire population except for one person, and then other ideas in connection with that is like, I want to explore that as well. So I don't know, maybe I should just write those ideas down on a piece of paper and then throw a dart. Well, I would if I had a dart. flip a coin. So yeah, this video was supposed to be about me figuring out which story idea to work with, and I don't know. But this video is a flop. Absolutely flop. But we'll see on Friday what well, before Friday, because I need to start on Friday. So Thursday, what I'm actually gonna be writing. Thoughts and prayers. Yeah, well, in any case, I'll see you. Oh, when do I see you? Because my original plan is this video goes up now on Tuesday, and then Thursday is Hunter Killer, I believe. I may just make a short little video for Friday and pop it up. Yeah, probably. I don't know, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, probably see you on Friday and I'll have an answer then. Promise. Okay, see you then and take care and have fun. Oh, it's still gonna be fun. Even if I have to flip a coin, it's still gonna be so much fun. So yeah, see you then and good luck. We're gonna need it.